All right, let's go to LA, the LA Bowl, Oregon State and Utah State. Of course, SoFi Stadium, home of the Rams and Chargers, is where this game will be. Oregon State, 7.5 to 8-point favorites, 64.5, 65 the total in this game. The Mountain West title game winner, of course, Utah State, they just obliterated San Diego State on Saturday. That was extremely impressive. No sweat at all getting the points with Utah State in that game. They got it done with relative ease, and really stunning that the San Diego State defense just basically fell apart, in the second half.
Everything fell apart in that game. They had zero offense. The defense was pathetic, and the special teams, which was so good, muffed punts and just horrible. That was about as worst a game you could have that I've seen. All by a team that was, that good. I mean, with their record. So, ugly.
That was a shit show from an Aztecs perspective. But I've got concerns about Utah State here a little bit, because I've seen some examples in recent years where, especially the Mountain West title game winner, I thought, wow, you won the Mountain West title, you're going to be excited. Not so much. That might have been the pinnacle of the season for Utah State, winning that game. I've seen the Mountain West title game winner lay an egg, in a couple of these bowl games in recent years. And I'm worried that might happen here against Oregon State. And I think from a motivation standpoint, I think Oregon State is, because this is a team that's building its way back up to be in a respectable, solid program again in the Pac-12. They had a solid enough season, in my opinion. I like Jonathan Smith as a head coach, what he's been able to do here with this Oregon State program. This is a team that, has been had some rough years, some down years. But now they get a chance to be in a bowl game, and I think that's going to have them very excited. Remember, last year they weren't in a bowl game. A couple of years ago, they weren't in a bowl game. 3 years ago, they weren't in a bowl game. It's been a while since Oregon State's gone bowling here, and I worry that Utah State, they put all their eggs into the basket of beating San Diego State. That's the pinnacle of the season was achieved right there on Saturday. Do they have another step-up game in them? I'm not totally banking on that. I think there's a reason Oregon State is laying more than a touchdown here, and I'd be reluctant to go against Oregon State here in this game, because I know this is a team that's excited for their bowl game, a team that hasn't been in many of these in recent years. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, I think the line is spot on here, just about at 7 in the hook. You got to think Oregon State is, and especially coming off of that loss to Oregon. They keep losing to them. They just can't get over. Like, if they would have won that game, would have been huge. And they played way better after the initial 21-0, whatever it was, punched in the mouth. They're the better team here. Yeah, Utah State, I've seen it, like you said, over the years. This Mountain West team plays a pack and just gets here. It used to be in Vegas. They play, and they at Sam Boyd Stadium, and they could lay a huge egg. Utah State. Someone mentioned in the chat, I think the total might be a little bit too high here at almost 65. Of course, they could get there with these offenses, but my initial lead's Oregon State. I think they want to, they're pissed off about that. I think they play well here. But yeah, I think the line's perfect. It makes you think Utah State, that huge win, all that, take the points with them. But I don't know about in this one. I lean to Oregon State a little bit, and I lean under here, just a tad bit.
Yeah, you notice in the early bowl season, I usually gravitate to underdogs. This is one where I'd be interested more in the favorite. And by the way, 49th strength of schedule, 49th most difficult strength of schedule for Oregon State, 95th most difficult strength of schedule for Utah State. So a little bit of a discrepancy there. And yeah, I think, and we've seen Oregon State too, in terms of their ability to, when they face teams that are, on the same level or playing field as them, they can do good. They've found their way to play pretty well in some of those games. You remember, what they did again. Remember, they played a Mountain West team early in the season, September 11th, Hawaii, and beat them pretty good, 45-27. Now, I think Utah State's a little better than Hawaii, but still, I think Oregon State, though, is definitely the way I would lean here early in the bowl season, well prior to this game starting.